Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott Selections here for Friday, November 20th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up picking up a loss with DeAndre Hopkins over 86.5 receiving yards, was available on DraftKings at minus 118. Really wasn't that close. He ended up finishing with, I believe, 51. He was pretty much non-existent for the first two quarters. Then he ended up having a big 20-plus yard reception in the third, but it was too little too late at that point. The game really did not go the way that most people thought it would. I know money came in on the under, but people were expecting, including myself, for Wilson and Murray to throw it around once again. Both have 300-something yards, something like that. But Seattle's defense definitely showed up. They got after Murray a lot. Murray also ended up suffering a little bit of a shoulder injury earlier in the game, which caused him to be a little bit inaccurate with the ball. But Hopkins was against pretty much Seattle's just scrub secondary because of the fact that the cornerback 1 and cornerback 2 were unavailable in that game, and yet Hopkins still did nothing, which was pretty surprising. But either way, we ended up picking up a loss. So for today's play today on Friday, there are 4 college games on the card. We're going to be talking about one game taking place between Florida Atlantic and UMass. Now, I know when you first hear UMass, you pretty much already know where I'm going to go with this one. And we're going to be going with Florida Atlantic minus the 33, which is available on Fox Bet at minus 110, a time recording of 2:21 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, a couple reasons why I like Florida Atlantic in this spot. First of all, I know people hear the name Willie Taggart and they think, oh, great offense, terrible defense. That is not the case with Atlantic. Atlantic so far this season has been phenomenal defensively. They're only allowing 13 points per game. They're only allowing 323.2 yards per game. And the reason why that's important is because of the fact that UMass is awful offensively. They have played 120 minutes so far this season. They've scored 10 points and have been outscored 92 to 10. So they have really just been getting killed out there. And when your point differentials here are 5 points per game and 46 points allowed per game, you're not going to keep many games close. Now, Florida Atlantic, their defense, of course, is great, which I just mentioned, and UMass's offense is terrible. So UMass is the reason why their team total is currently at 7.5 or 8. People just don't think they're going to score. I think they might score 1 touchdown tops, but that's basically it. It might be garbage time, something like that. But UMass is averaging 190.5 total yards of offense per game. So they can't move the ball on anybody. And Florida Atlantic's defense is definitely good enough to keep UMass in check once again. And the reason why I'm going to be bringing up the defense is because of the fact that the main question that people have on Florida Atlantic is the offense. Now, the offense has been struggling so far this season, as it is only averaging 20.4 points per game. However, Florida Atlantic did shake things up a little bit last week in their matchup against Florida International, and ended up scoring a season-high 38 points as a result. The main switch was that they switched quarterbacks, and they ended up putting in Javion Posey as their quarterback, and he ended up having a very solid game as he had 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and 182 rushing yards. Now, Posey is not a big threat to throw the ball. It's just not what he does. He does have the ability to occasionally take advantage of the defense over committing to some play actions, etc. But the reason why I like Atlantic is because of the fact that they should be able to run the ball down UMass's throats for all 60 minutes. Florida Atlantic last week against Florida International had 52 carries for 381 rushing yards, which is equivalent to 7.3 yards per carry, and they also had 3 rushing touchdowns. Atlantic's going to want to run the ball a lot. UMass are going to have no resistance whatsoever, and I think that Atlantic should score at least 40 plus points in this game. Probably around 42, the reason why the team total is at 42. I think this game's going to be a blowout once again. UMass, I don't really know how they're FBS. It's really kind of a waste of time. They get killed every time they play. But Atlantic, with the new quarterback, actually has an offense that looks pretty dynamic, and they also have one of the most underrated defenses in the country. And for that reason, I think Atlantic should win this game probably around 45-7, give or take. But for that reason, the play of the day here for Friday, November 20th is going to be on Florida Atlantic minus 33, which is available on Fox Bet at minus 110. That's been the installment Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.